What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Green Desk. We got a review for you here today. Reviewing the SPRK cartridge from the brand Pocket, or the SPRK cartridge by the PCKT brand. I think it's Pocket and SPRK, doesn't matter. And this is a refillable cartridge for your vaping needs. So any kind of oils, whether it's thick or thin, distillate, full spectrum hash, live resin, rosin, will all work in here. So I've had these about 4 months. Probably bought them 5 months ago, but just was kind of scared to refill my own cartridges. But had them for about 4 months, used them, refilled multiple times. I've even rebought them, so I bought like a pack of four, I bought four, and then I've kind of since ordered more because I liked them and I wanted to have different strains and all that. And I do like them, but I kind of have fallen out of favor, and I'll talk about that in a second. But first, let's get into the cartridge. It comes with a little rubber stopper on the bottom there. 510, all stainless, looks nice and clean. Everything about it's ceramic, even the mouthpiece, so there's no plastic. Even the center column is ceramic. The outer clear the outer clear tube is glass, and you can see as I take this out here, you have a rubber seal there, you have a rubber seal there, you have two rubber seals at the bottom, and so you basically just take the top off, and then you have the little gap right there. You can use your dabblicator if you're careful, or if you have like the syringes that some of them use, you can just put it right in there. The nice thing is you can tell that like none of this is plastic, or it's all glass and ceramic. When you do screw them back together, you kind of feel like feels like glass on glass, or if you ever kind of had scratching on hard surface on hard surface. So there's no plastic, not even the center column. This is for a half gram, and the price is pretty decent. Right now they're going for about $3 on the manufacturer's website. So pocketvapor.com, not sponsored. I bought these all my own, but pocketvapor.com, they have these ceramic cartridges. And the cool thing, and the reason why I got into these, they're only $3 a piece. And the first time I ordered, it was $25 in items. I got a bunch of different kinds of carts. Some of them are magnetic, some of them have a metallic finish, some of them have the ceramic finish. So I kind of bought a plethora, and it was like $25, and shipping was $4.15. So I bought a handful of cartridges, and the shipping was the price of just one extra cartridge. I know I've kind of also bought some Hamilton official C-Cell cartridges. You're running $4, $5, $6 depending on which one you get, and shipping is expensive, and they're made for bulk orders. If you just want a handful to refill your own carts, this was a better deal, I guess I would say. So it's good shipping, good price, flavor's great, cloud production is great, and like I said, I bought a handful, and I've bought more since. But a couple of things. They don't travel well from my understanding. So in my usage, I've used them, several ones over and over again. I think the most I've refilled has been like 3-4 times. So I'm not like refilling them 10 times, a month or whatever. They're not getting put through their paces 20 times before anything happens. I've only used a single cartridge over and over again, maybe 4 times. And unfortunately, the first 4 of these ceramic carts that I bought, 2 of them leaked. They basically just leaked out the bottom. So I don't know if it was from the air holes right there in the stem or through the actual like hole down here, but my 510 battery, all the threads got gummed up with full spectrum hash oil. The bottom was kind of goopy, and when that started to happen, I don't know if you can see it here, but there's little holes right at the bottom, like any kind of cartridge that you've seen. It kind of started like, I don't want to say it was leaking black stuff into the cartridge, because I don't think there's any like black chemical in here. I think it was just really oxidizing my spectrum hash oil through those holes. So there was a hole, there was a constant stream of oxygen or something, and so I'd have nice brown distillate or nice brown full spectrum hash oil, and through the holes I'd see this like seeping black ooze. So really don't know if that's healthy or not. I kind of stopped smoking them. Luckily, both of the cartridges that leaked they did kind of leak at the end of the cycle, and I actually have one right here. So here you can kind of see like a used cartridge. You can kind of see like the staining and, so a couple of things. One, I've noticed at the seals a lot of, and it's not a lot, but like that's a good chunk of my full spectrum oil that's sitting at the top. And yeah, I could probably put a hair dryer on it or warm it up in my hand and it would slowly, but I mean, this has been at room temperature for, days and days, and it's even been leaning on its side. You can kind of see how one side is a little bit, thicker, but I don't know if I can show this to you. But see how that brown liquid then has like a layer of dark brown, maybe even black? That's the stuff that's coming through those holes. And if you can see, sorry if it's kind of grody and hairy, I apologize, but this is sticky. So you can see the threads have oil over it. The bottom has oil over it. Even like the little ledge right here has oil. So that's concerning, especially in my area where a gram of full spectrum hash oil is $60. So it's I can get a half gram made by the companies already pre-filled. That's a throwaway cartridge for $65, or I can get a full gram for $60, and I can get a reusable cartridge for $3 plus shipping. So I'm still saving money, but it's kind of difficult when it's leaking and there's air and oxidation and stickiness. So my equipment's getting kind of, crappy gunk on it. My cartridges has crappy gunk, and I don't know what I'm smoking with that black oxidation or what have you. Good thing is, I still trust the company. I said 2 out of my 4 were not good. I said, hey, 2 of the 4 leaked. I even took pictures because they're probably gonna be like, bullshit, you get to show us proof. I just sent them an email saying 2 of the 4 from my very first order months and months ago, they started leaking, and they replaced all 4. And I even asked, well, what can I do? Like in the future, what can I do to prevent this? Like, is this because I had it upside down? Did it get too hot? Was I using the wrong voltage temperature? Like, why is this leaking? And they said, it's probably just a defect. Like, we're not going to sit here and try to justify it. They're like, we're going to give you 4 new carts. So I have like the replacement cartridges right here. So really cool brand, like as far as customer service. And honestly, for $3 and the cost of shipping, I'm going to still use all 4 of these that they gave me as replacement and the other 2 that I have that are brand new. But I'm probably only going to use them like once or twice. Because realistically, I can spend $60, $65 on a half gram of full spectrum hash oil, or $60 plus $3 in shipping for 2 half gram carts I fill myself. Even if they leak a little, even if they're not the best, they're still going to save me a ton of money in the long run. And they're cheap enough at $3 a pop. I could buy 2 of these and a full gram dablicator for essentially $66. And so even if I throw this away after 1 use, my new ones, it's still going to be $33 for a half gram versus at the dispensary it's basically 65 or 60 for the exact same thing. So still like them, but just be careful. I did notice that the 2 that leaked were my travel ones. Like I kind of have a cartridge that I leave at home, basically like an indica. I leave in my battery so I can chill at home. If I'm out and about, I'll load up a sativa, and the 2 sativas leaked. So maybe it's because it was hot out. The summers get hot around here. Maybe it leaked because it was bouncing around in my glove box or what have you. But I also do know I keep these very upright when they're not being used, because I'm paranoid about leaking. So it wasn't like I kept them upside down or I kept them on their side in a hot car overnight or whatever. I was very, very careful to keep these cartridges and my battery upright, even when they were in my pocket when I was traveling. But they still 2 out of 4 leaked. But hopefully they said, hey, that must have been a bad batch. Here's 4. So ultimately, $3. Not a bad deal. Shipping's great. And if you want an alternative to buying the C-Cell carts from like Hamilton Devices, you're going to pay extra in shipping. You're going to pay extra per cartridge. This is a pretty decent, cheap alternative, even if you're using it as a throwaway. If you want something that you're going to basically keep and maybe pass on down to your grandkids because they're so well made that they can be reused thousands of times, this ain't it. I don't even know if there is a cartridge out there like that. But for the money And if you don't want to spend, if you're just buying a handful and you don't want to spend, $10, $12 in shipping at other places, or $5 per reusable cartridge, I'd treat these as throwaway. I wouldn't really recommend them all in all for, over using it over and over and over again. But this has been the Green Desk review. Look forward for more reviews out there. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. We are going to add a bunch of reviews as I go on this journey. All right. Thank you.